Welcome back. So this short class is going to be on some standing balances, and you can use your chair, you could use a kitchen countertop, you could use a small cupboard or a fireplace around, or if you've got a high sofa, just something that you can hold on to so you're not going to be at risk of falling. So you can hold your balance and you've got something there to ground you down. So we're going to start off with the chair to the left of you. So first of all, come to standing, feet roughly hip width apart. So that's roughly a clenched fist for most of us. And your knees are going to be a little bit apart as well. And then lift the toes, hold onto the chair for support if you're feeling wobbly. Lift your toes, spread them really wide. Now put down just the big toes, only the big toes. Lift the other toes up, spread them, and then lift the big toe up. Can you now put down just your little toes? Keep the other toes lifted, stretching up, and then lift the little toes. Now put the big toes down and then slowly lower the rest of the toes. And then come to leaning forwards a tiny bit. Hold onto the chair for support, leaning forwards, and then coming back to neutral and leaning backwards a little bit. Pull your belly button up and in here. Support yourself. Coming back to neutral. Start to shift over to one side a little bit. Back to neutral and to the other side. So we're going to come forwards, out to one side, coming backwards and to the other side. So we're drawing circles over our ankles, circling our bodies from the ankle. So everything is making lovely big circles, slowly. And then pause the next time you're forward, change direction to one side, coming back to the other side and forwards. And depending how it feels for you, you could speed it up a bit or slow it down. See what's going to feel nicest for you. And don't forget, pull that belly button up and in. And then coming back to neutral pose. Can you bring your hands to your hips and move your feet just a little bit wider apart and holding on to your hips or one hand on a chair? Again, this time we're just going to start to circle the hips. So we're coming forwards, and as your hips come backwards, you're going to fold forwards a tiny little bit. Or you can hold on with two hands and your action's going to be here, just circling the hips nicely around. Doing what feels good, kind of a little bit of a dancey move, and then changing direction. Again, circling your hips, bringing them round and round, or hands are on hips. See how it feels, whatever feels good for you. And then coming to a still pose. Just take a step away from the chair so you're not going to hit your hand or move the chair. Reset your feet a little bit wider than your hips, and then just starting to turn. And you're just going to gently let your arms come out. Move slowly here so you don't get dizzy. And then just letting your arms fly out, swinging out to the side. Turning the head maybe, if that feels good for you. Don't forget, pull that belly button up and in. And then gradually slowing it down and bringing yourself back to your neutral pose. And just bring the chair back in close towards you. So I'm going to start off standing on the left leg. Lift the toes, spread them wide, ground the foot down. Now you can bring your heel off the mat and then bring the heel to the inner ankle. Option number 1. Option number 2, foot on the inner calf. Option number 3, a little bit tougher, is bringing the foot up to the top of the thigh. If you've got slippery leggings on like I do, or a dodgy knee like I do, you might not be able to bring the foot up super high. But if you are coming to position 3, you need to push the foot against the thigh muscle against the foot. If you find your foot slipping or it's too uncomfortable, bring the foot down to the inner calf or bring it back down to position 1. You choose. I'm going to stick with this option here. And again, thinking about your belly, pull that belly button up and in, straightening the standing leg. Inhaling an arm out, bringing your arm up, joining thumb and index finger. shoulders are down. You can keep holding onto the chair, or you can try bringing the other arm up, see how it feels. If you wobble and fall out of it, just come straight back into it. Focus on something in front of you that's not moving. That can really, really help. And just draw the shoulders down, lengthening the arms or holding onto your chair. Breathing here. Keep pulling that belly button up and in. Straightening the arms a little more. Pull the shoulders down and away from the ears for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release the arm, release the leg. And we're going to switch to the other side. So just moving the chair around. So lift the toes first of all, spread them wide, ground the foot down. Position 1, heel to ankle. Position 2, foot to the inner calf, not on the knee. It's got to be below the knee. Or position 3, foot coming all the way up to your inner thigh. Don't forget about your core. Draw that belly button up and in. Inhale, and arm up. And you can stay here holding onto the chair or focusing on something that's not moving. Very slowly start lifting the other arm. Remember to pull the shoulders down. And you can stay here. If you wobble, fall out of it, just take hold of the chair again. Reaching up with the arm, but pulling the shoulders down. Belly button pulling up and in. Can you straighten the standing leg a little more? Can you lengthen your spine a little more? Can you draw your shoulders down? Lengthen the neck. For another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Gently release the leg. And then just give your legs a little shake while we get ready for our next standing balance. So this time we're coming back to standing on the left leg. And again, lift the toes, spread them wide, ground them down. Ground the foot, straightening the standing leg, holding onto your chair. Core is fired up. Start to lift your right leg. Now your right hand can take the right knee, and then you're slowly going to just open at the hip. And then you're going to bring it closed. So inhale, open, and exhale, release. Inhaling and exhaling. And keep breathing as you move through this rotation. Don't forget to keep that belly button pulling up and in. Shoulders are down and away from ears. And then pause with the hip open. We're going to stay here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly bring the knee back. Now, remove the hand but keep the knee lifted. Pausing here. Can you now extend your leg, point the toes, bend the knee. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and then release the leg down. And just give your hips a little bit of a shake, a little bit of a waggle before we set up on the other side. So once more, standing leg, nice and strong. Lift the toes, spread them wide, grounding down. Fire up your core as the knee comes up, hand taking hold in front of the knee. So really work on getting that standing leg as straight as you can. And then slowly starting to open at the hip. And slowly bringing it back. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lovely hip rotation. And exhaling back. Keep pulling that belly button up and in as you slowly rotate the hip and bringing it back. One more time. Opening, and we're going to pause here. Straighten that standing leg. Draw your shoulders down. Pull that belly button up and in. Staying here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly bring the knee back. Release and extend. Bending and extending. Bend, extend, and release it down. And again, just give everything a tiny bit of a shake, because that's quite hard on your hips. Our last balance is we're going to work on dancer's pose, and you've got options here. So first of all, lift the toes, spread them wide, ground the foot down. Now bring your knees together and just bend your foot. Can you reach your foot behind you? If you can't, like I can't do that, you can just bring the leg out to the side a bit and then replace and bring the knees back together. Holding onto the chair, maybe the front of the chair, pull belly button up and in. And you're just going to gently start to tilt forwards. The foot's going to come up behind you. I'll come sideways on so you can see a little bit better. So holding the foot, hand towards the front of the chair, slowly coming forwards, lifting that leg up as much as you can. Pausing here. Can you kick the foot harder against your hand? Can you lift that leg a little bit higher perhaps? Breathe. Can you straighten that standing leg a tiny bit more? And then super slowly, slowly, slowly coming upright. Release the leg, give it a shake, and then setting up on the other side. So ground the standing leg, lift the toes, grounding down, bringing the foot to hand, and then resetting your knees together. Hand more towards the front of the chair. Now straighten that standing leg before you start hinging. And then you're going to hinge from the hips, coming forwards, lifting that leg if you can, as high as you can, lifting it up, coming into your beautiful dancer's pose, balancing here, breathing here. And to come out of it, micro bend the standing leg, bringing yourself upright, release, give everything a little shake, and then just come back to standing by your chair for one last little balance. Feet hip width, roughly a clenched fist width apart. Core is fired up, lift the toes. And now you're just going to come onto the ball of your feet and start lifting up, holding onto the chair, coming up as high as you can go. Really focus on something in front of you that's not moving. And then super slowly start to lower the heels down. Beautiful. Inhaling up, pull that belly button up and in. And exhale, releasing down. Let's use one arm. Inhaling up, reaching the arm up. And exhale, coming down. One more time. Inhale up, pause here. Holding onto that chair. Can you come a little bit higher? Right up onto your tippy toes. Can you reach the arm higher? And then slowly release it down. Release the arm. And again, move the chair or move to the other side of your chair, setting up on the other side. So ground the feet, lift the toes, and then inhaling up, tippy toes, and exhale, coming down. Inhale up and down. Bring the arm into it. Inhale up and exhale down. Inhale and release. One more time. Let's stay up here for a few seconds. Can you push yourself higher? Can you arch up a little bit more? Can you reach the hand a little bit more? And then slowly release it down. Inhale your arms out wide, bringing them up above you. Hands coming to the third eye, to heart center, and namaste. Thank you for joining me.